Welcome to Pots, Pans, and Pioneers. Today we're going to be making pan pizza. And it's Pizza Hut's pan pizza. Let's get started. So today we're going to be making pan pizza crust. Tonight is our pizza night, and I wanted to show everybody how I make pan pizza. Now, I've tried a lot of recipes for pizza crust. A lot. Hundreds from YouTube, and I have never ever found a pan pizza crust recipe that was perfect. So I had to create one of my own. So I was able to gather some main ingredients from the Pizza Hut pan pizza recipe, and I incorporated some of my own. So to get a copy of this recipe, all you're going to do is go to Pots and Pans and Pioneers.com. The link's in the description below. And you can print the recipe. We don't ask for your email address. It's not a spam website. It's not going to bring you to 4 websites. So just grab a copy of this recipe. You won't want to be without it if you like pizza. You can even thin out this crust, you know, by just putting pressure on it and making it a hand-tossed pizza crust. So let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of canola oil or vegetable oil, whatever you have. If you're using shortening, make sure it's melted when you start the process. So we've proofed our yeast. I'm using a bread maker to do my dough so I don't have to hand knead it for 25 minutes, and I always proof my yeast. So this foamy frothy stuff has been sitting in 110 degree water for 10 minutes, and it's 1.25 cups of water. So we wait for the yeast to rise activate for about 10 minutes, and I'm going to pour it in the bread maker. Now what you don't want to do is have the salt hit this liquid, so we always bury our salt in our flour to make sure. Here is our first cup of flour. Now I'm using an organic red mill flour that's designed for pizza. So, and all that means is that it's been milled very finely so that you can get a really good consistency on your flour. Now, I add a tablespoon of garlic to this pizza crust, but you don't have to do that. That's just, I like a flavored crust. And there's 1/4 cup of dry, non-fat organic milk in here. And buried in the bottom of this is going to be the salt, and it's 1/2 teaspoon. So, okay. All of the ingredients have been added. You can really smell the garlic because a tablespoon of garlic powder smells strong, although it's not going to taste. This recipe is going to make one really large size pan pizza, 2 medium pizzas, or a large and a medium pizza. And I'm just going to set this on dough setting because we are not going to bake it in here. We're just going to have the machine do all the hard labor. So we're going to set it on the dough setting, which is an 8. It's a 9. And we're just going to go ahead and hit start. Now, I like to watch this for the first 2-3 minutes just because I want to make sure there's enough liquid and flour in here. So we're just looking for it to really mix well. There's also some pure cane sugar, a tablespoon of that in the warm water, the warm yeast water that I added, because the yeast kind of feeds off of the sugar. It helps it activate. I'm going to get a little water. If the humidity levels aren't good outside, we always have to add water to my bread. If the humidity levels are great, then I don't. Living in the upper section of Texas, we kind of get a lot of different types of humidity. So, but if you love pan pizza, you're gonna love this recipe. I'm telling you, it is awesome. You're gonna preheat your oven to 475, and while this is doing its initial knead and rise, you can get whatever toppings you want. We like basic pizza, but I mean, you can start creating your toppings for your pizza while this is going at it. And what you want is, if it's getting on your finger like that, it's probably going to need a little bit of flour. I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of flour on. What you want is the dough to incorporate and knead really well, so you don't need any flour. This smells like garlic dough. And this will need a few minutes just to get nice and shiny. I've done this recipe by hand, and it takes a really long time to knead it. And I have fibromyalgia, so I can't do things too long, and so it's a constant kneading. That's why I just love this bread machine, because it does all the really heavy work for you. So this is not coming back on my finger. That's from the time before. And it's going to be a really, really good dough. So I'll bring you back once the dough does its initial rise and before we press it out in the pans. So we'll be back. Okay, the pizza crust is on its last rise. And we're going to move it to board where we can roll it out. Take the petals out. I'll try to get all the dough that's in here out onto the board. Again, this will make 2 mediums pizzas or 1 large pan, or 1 large pan and a medium, which is what we're going to do today. Okay, some flour. I've got flour and cornmeal on the board here, and I'm just going to roll it around. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut this dough in half. I'm not going to do exactly half because I'm doing 1 medium and 1 large pizza. So cut it. And this is the medium pan. I've sprayed this with canola oil, and I'm basically just going to punch it down. And you're just going to want to reach your edges. And you know it's a good dough when this is bouncing back. So you just want to keep pressing, turning your pan. And you'll see how it just tries to bounce back. That just means that it's got a lot of gluten in it, and it's a very good active dough. Okay, from this point, you can add your pizza sauce, your cheese, and any other toppings you want. You're going to bake this on 475 for 10 minutes or until the cheese bubbles, either way. So give me a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to our channel for more recipes, and we'd love to hear what you think about the pizza. Everybody have a great day.